Hey guys, welcome to episode 131 of OG Toys. I'm OG Star Wars The Clone Wars. We're taking a look at some of the Clone Wars figures. This is a brand new version of Obi Wan Kenobi. Brand new for 2012. The latest version, definitely based off his Season 4 appearance. Now, there's been a lot of slag on this figure, saying that it sucks. It's nowhere near as good as it should be. Just on and on how this figure sucks. He sucks. He sucks. Wow. I'm pretty shocked, and I'm pretty tough on my own personal figures that I collect. I don't want to get a figure that has absolute crappy articulation. I don't want to have a figure that doesn't look good, or it's cheap production values on it, where it's falling apart and extremely loose joints. But this figure, I think, is getting really the butt end of a lot of slack, and we definitely need to ease off on this guy. He's nowhere near as bad as some of the reviews I've seen on this figure. And I'm going to show you an in-depth comparison to a couple other Obi Wan Kenobi figures I've made in the Clone Wars style. And we'll do a comparison, see which one's the best. We'll see. But first of all, let's take a look at some of the accessories it came with. Now, this is something that I personally don't really care for. This thing, it's just a backpack that goes onto the figure. It's supposed to be like a rocket launcher, you can grappling hook, and then shoot up. Okay, that's great. Kids might love it. Personally, I don't like it. And I'll probably never use this. I'll probably throw it away. Don't care for it whatsoever. You got a stand. A stand, of course, which is brown this time around. Freaking great having these things. Wish the vintage collection had them, but for the extra articulation and detailing, I can put that aside. And if it could stay on his foot, that would be even better. Da 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 da. And doesn't want to stay. And there we go. Boom, stayed. And you get a really cool looking card for a little cool pic of Obi Wan and his stats, of course, for the card game, which they've been putting in these Clone War things forever. Does anybody even actually play this game? You know, it comes with an extra instructions, some dice right there as well. Do people actually play this game? I don't know. I pretty much chuck all that stuff because there's no interest to me whatsoever. You also got a bit of a write-up on Obi-Wan Kenobi on the back here. I'll just hold it there for a moment. You can read it, pause it, whatever you like. But let's get to the meat of this review, of course. What we buy these figures for, the figure itself. So let's take a look at Obi Wan Kenobi. Now, I really like this Obi Wan. He is much improved, I would say, over the last version of Obi Wan Kenobi that came out a little while ago from the Clone Wars. The face sculpt is what really caught me here. Very angular looks, you know, very kind of blocky, sharp edges. His beard even has a little point on it. It's very segmented, just like in the actual Clone Wars animated series, which of course is awesome. Even on his robes here, he has a bit of a darker wash on it. It doesn't really show up that much here, but in person you can see he has a bit of a darker wash. It gives it more definition. And on the back, of course, he has his pouch. More of the wash on the back. He's got his arm gauntlets. He even has a hand posed in that Jedi kind of whatever, that Jedi kind of mind teleportation, not teleportation, levitation or mind trick stuff you can do on you. It looks actually really cool. They did a great job. And of course he has his lightsaber. Notice the lightsaber is a lighter shade of blue. It's almost more translucent. I've seen some other actually, I got a huge lightsaber collection of all these things I've collected, of course. In the many years of collecting Star Wars, you do assume a massive collection of lightsabers. And they've made a lot of dark blue ones, lighter blue ones. This is probably the most fairest blue I've seen, besides the clear ones that came with the red Imperial Guard-like Commandos Troopers. That was a 2-pack that came out years ago. Comic pack, that was really awesome. But let's take a closer look at the figure's articulation. This is where this figure got the crap kicked out of it. Okay. Ball jointed head. Very good ball joint. A lot of movement. You can look up, down, all the way around. 360 at the waist, ball joints, of course, at the shoulders and at the elbow joint. He doesn't have wrist articulation. Oh my god, no wrist articulation. Huh? Not a huge deal. But yeah, he doesn't have wrist articulation. This is a harder rubber, softer rubber material, and he doesn't have like a ball joint at the legs at all. He does have 360 at the knee with the ball joint. He can move that, pivot up and down. No ankle articulation. So yeah, he doesn't have as much articulation as some of the other figures, but we've seen in Clone Wars. But for an Obi Wan figure, he's actually quite good. I'm going to show you. This was the predecessor, the figure that came out before that one. Now this figure itself, very stylized again, really small head, which I didn't like on this figure too much. But of course, very stylized after Season 3 Obi-Wan with the, the wispy hair, not whiskey hair. His hair isn't drunk. He has the same gauntlets, of course, that a regular Obi-Wan here has, with the cool insignia as well. And this one, it really doesn't have a wash on the robe. It's very clean. Same ball joints everywhere. He does have wrist articulation though. Okay. And a trigger finger as well. 360 at the waist. Same kind of standard T-crotch with the ball joint. Very stiff ball joint at the knee. And, oh, nothing at the ankles either. Okay. So this figure, and I've seen people say this is much better. It's the best Obi-Wan figure from Clone Wars. Yeah, it's not bad, but compare the two here. Much meatier looking, more heroic. I have no neck. I've been on a crash diet, and I've been in jail for the past 8 months, and I barely eat. That's the difference between these two guys. This one, hands down, is my favorite. This one was okay for the time being, but this definitely is an improved version. Doesn't have the wrist articulation, but overall, he's so much better. Okay, now I want to show you something else. These guys won't stand. Oh, he'll stand, but I doubt if he'll stand. Oh, you're standing. Good job. The very, 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 very first Obi Wan Kenobi from Clone Wars. Now check out this guy. He's got a pretty cool looking head. First 2 seasons represented very well with this head sculpt. Oh, and there goes that Obi Wan. Yeah. Really nice wash all over the body armor, the robes. Now this guy, of course, had the alternate head, and I bought 2 of these because I wanted to display one like this because he looks awesome. Great job. This is a phenomenal kickoff to Clone Wars. But articulation-wise, of course, ball-jointed head, removable head. Look at they all have. 360 at the wrist. Ball joints all over the place in his arms, in his elbows. 360 at the waist. Oh my god. Nothing. T-crotch. Nothing at all in the knee or the ankle. Okay. So you can see, he didn't have the best articulation, but an unbelievable sculpt. And later on, they did produce another version of this guy with a vehicle. And he had a softer tunic here. Softer cloth, excuse me. And he had articulation in the knee. Unfortunately, I never got around to buying that because I thought, this one's cool enough. Probably should have because it would have been cool to have it, but there you go. It's a bit of an evolution of Obi-Wan. And of course, there was the other Obi-Wan in a spacesuit. Yup, spacesuit. That I didn't buy because I just did not like the way it looked. But you got a bunch of different Obi-Wans here. And this one just... There you go, buddy. There you go. A bunch of different Obi-Wans. Personally, of course, my favorite is this guy. The newest version. Who just got knocked over by my stupid finger. But this one is definitely awesome. Got him at a great price as well. It was like not even $5. So if you're interested in Clone Wars, which I'm sure you are, and you're thinking, what's the best Obi-Wan Kenobi figure? This guy is definitely a great choice. Second, of course, by the original Obi-Wan. And then I go third. Your only choice, really, is that guy. But if you can get this one with the soft goods, or excuse me, the cloth tunic, get that one. Because that's a kick-ass looking figure. Alright guys, hope you've enjoyed this review on my second favorite Star Wars character of all time, Obi-Wan Kenobi from Clone Wars. Got another Obi-Wan where I'm going to do a review on as well. Of course, this is from the vintage line. And just to show you the maybe differences, of course, between Clone Wars and the Vintage line. We'll do a couple comparisons. And of course, I'm going to show you an epic battle between Darth Maul and Obi Wan Kenobi in the Vintage line, just to see how cool those two figures look together. Alright, guys. Thanks so much for watching. As always, rate, comment, subscribe. More reviews coming soon. Take care.